Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. I'll be reviewing the Sailor Shikiori double-sided brush pens. I hope you enjoy the video and let's jump right in. These pens can be purchased individually for $3 to $5 a piece or as a set of 20, retailing anywhere between $30 to $80 depending on where you purchase it from. In case you're curious, I live in the US and purchased the 20 pack from Amazon for about $34. Moving on to packaging, these pens come in a white plastic body. The caps for the brush end have a color indicator, which helps to distinguish which shade is which. The set that I purchased includes these product stickers that include the Japanese name for each shade. However, I don't believe the name is actually on the packaging itself, and I'm not sure if all of these pens come with this sticker. So if shade names are important to you, that's something you may want to keep in mind. As the name suggests, these pens are dual-ended, so on one end you have a brush nib, and on the other end you have a fine point. The brush nib is a flexible, felt-tip material that, in my opinion, produces medium-sized brush strokes. In comparison to the more common Tombow Dual brush pens, the nibs on the Sailor Shikiori pens are slightly smaller and shorter. Because of this, the Sailor Shikiori brush pens will produce a slightly smaller font compared to the Tombow brush pens. For the fine point, the nib is made of plastic and produces a very thin line. Compared to the Tombow bullet tip, the Tombows behave more like a marker with a felt tip bullet nib and creates a slightly thicker line. Moving on to inks, I'll be swatching these in my B5 sized Notebook Therapy dotted journal. Journals from Notebook Therapy and Archer & Olive typically have thick 160 GSM paper, which I have not experienced any feathering, bleed-through, or ghosting with these pens. However, that may be something you'll experience on thinner paper. The inks themselves are dye-based and water-based. So similar to the Tombows, if you applied the inks onto watercolor paper, you can blend them out like you would with watercolor paint. Now onto my personal opinions on these. I had actually never seen or heard of these pens before. Earlier this year, I was just browsing jetpens.com and saw these on their site. I took a look at the swatches and immediately wanted to try them. The color range was really speaking to me since it consists of beautiful muted and earthy shades that are my personal favorite. However, I was able to find the 20-piece set on Amazon for half the price, which is what I purchased. Something that I learned while researching the brand Sailor for this video is that they're popular for their fountain pens and beautiful inks. So it's no wonder why they did such an incredible job developing this ink formulation for these pens. All in all, I highly recommend trying these pens for yourself if you too enjoy this color selection and are wanting to try a high-quality brush pen that produces medium-sized brush strokes that can also be used as watercolors. My only suggestion would be to try and get it from Amazon if you want it at a more affordable price. I've had these pens for a couple of months and I've been testing them out with doodling and writing. So far, I haven't found any cons with these pens, but I'm curious to see how long they'll last and how durable the brush nib and fine tip will be. I suspect that eventually the brush nib may start to wear after significant use, as that's typically to be expected with brush pens made from felt. I'm curious to see how the plastic nib will hold up after time as well, because I personally don't have too much experience with plastic nibs, so I don't know what to expect. I do have to say how surprised I am that these aren't talked about more. Like I said, I just randomly stumbled upon these when browsing jet pens, so I hadn't heard or seen anyone else talk about them, which is really too bad. I have a feeling that I will reach for these often, as I already have been, due to the gorgeous color selection, the juicy consistency, and vibrant shades. The inks also appear very evenly on the page too. It doesn't seem to pool up in one area like how some other water-based markers tend to do. Overall, I really just can't say enough good things about these. I've been very pleased with my experience with them so far. But with that being said, I'll let you enjoy the rest of the swatches. Well, that does it for my review of the Sailor Shikiori brush pens. Let me know what you think of these pens, and if you'll be trying them or if you won't be trying them. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!